It was a cold October evening in 1974 when a group of 5 friends decided to camp by the secluded Blackwood Lake, deep in the forests of Oregon. The lake had a reputation. Locals whispered about strange occurrences, unexplained lights, eerie sounds, and, most chillingly, people who vanished without a trace. But for these friends, it was all just a spooky story. They wanted adventure, not warnings. The night was calm at first. The group set up their tents, roasted marshmallows by the fire, and laughed off the lake's sinister reputation. At midnight, the stillness of the forest became unsettling. That was when they first heard it. A low humming sound, almost like a distant chant. It echoed across the water. "Did you hear that?" Sarah, the most skeptical of the group, asked. The others nodded, their faces pale. They decided it was just the wind and went back to their conversation. But an hour later, the chanting grew louder, this time accompanied by faint flickering lights hovering over the lake. Tom, the group's self-proclaimed leader, grabbed a flashlight and announced, "Let's check it out." The others hesitated but followed him. As they approached the lake's edge, the lights disappeared, leaving the water calm and black as ink. And then, without warning, the chanting stopped. Complete silence enveloped the forest. That was when Sarah noticed something, or someone, standing on the opposite shore. A tall, shadowy figure, too far to make out any details, but unmistakably watching them. "Let's go back," whispered Emily, clutching Tom's arm. But before they could move, the figure raised its arm and pointed toward them. Suddenly, the lights reappeared, brighter and closer this time. The friends ran back to their campsite, but when they arrived, they found their tents slashed open and their belongings scattered. Panic set in. "We need to leave." "Now," Tom said. They piled into their van and sped off, the headlights barely cutting through the dense fog that had mysteriously settled over the road. But the nightmare wasn't over. Halfway back to town, they noticed the same shadowy figure standing in the middle of the road. Tom slammed the brakes, but the figure vanished before the vehicle could stop. When they finally made it back to town, they reported everything to the local sheriff. A search was conducted, but no evidence of their story was found. Not the slashed tents, the lights, or the figure. The case was closed as a hoax. Months later, Sarah moved away, unable to shake the memories of that night. The others tried to move on as well, but one by one they began disappearing. Tom vanished from his apartment. Emily's car was found abandoned near Blackwood Lake. Sarah, the last one remaining, lived in fear, convinced that something from Blackwood Lake was hunting them. One day, she too disappeared, leaving behind only a hastily written note that read, "It's watching me." To this day, Blackwood Lake remains an enigma. Locals warn against visiting, but thrill seekers still venture there, hoping to catch a glimpse of the shadowy figure. None of them have returned to tell the tale. What do you think happened that night? Share your theories in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to Ghost Story 2.0 for more chilling tales like this one.